All right, this is going to be episode 1 on this little Hipo 289. I don't remember all the details, but there's a story behind this thing. But it's a stock 289 block, and it's got and it's a rusty mess, but it's got closed chamber 289 Hipo heads, which are just absolutely like hen's teeth. You just can't find them. It's only the second set I've ever seen. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this thing thermal cleaned. We're going to tear it all down, get everything apart, and we're going to thermal clean it. And when you see it again, it's going to be new and sparkly. But it's going to get the full treatment. It's going to get line honed, board decked, balanced. We're going to go through the heads. It's probably as rusty as they are. It's going to need all new valves. It's going to need new seats, guides. I'm sure it's going to need everything. So, but before we thermal cleaned it and made it look like brand new, I wanted to make sure we got it on film, just how bad it looks. But stay tuned, and when you see it again, it'll be all nice and shiny. All right, so through the magic of editing, here we are again, and it's all nice and clean. So to talk about first, we didn't film the crank because I'd already had it in the rust tank before we started filming, because it was really, really, really bad. It literally looked like it'd been laying in the bottom of the ocean for about 20 years. And I didn't think it was gonna make it. I figured we'd have to just junk it and buy a crank or come up with a crank somewhere. But to illustrate how bad it was, come over here close. I don't know if you can see the rust pitting in the snout, but I mean, this part's gonna be okay, but it was that bad. And it was pitted up so bad that we had to turn the rods 20 to get all the rust pits out. And you can still see just a little bit in the thrust face, but not much. I mean, we touched the thrust face, but the mains were not nearly as bad. They cleaned up on 10, but we hot tanked it in acid twice, and then we soaked it in the rust tank. God, 2 or 3 days, maybe twice 2 or 3 days. So I was really not expecting it to make it, but it did. Even the rear seal surface, which is usually, because if the rear seal surface is tore up bad with rust pits, you just can't keep a rear seal in them, and it actually looks really good. So I'm impressed that it made it. So apparently the story, again, I don't remember all the details, but this is all the pieces they have. They don't have rods or pistons, but I've got a set of rods. So we're going to take that set of rods. The block hasn't, it measures standard. It's got a little ridge, but it's not really bad. And surprisingly, you can see some rust pits in the cylinders, but they're not deep and nasty. Like it just had water standing in a hole. It looks like the pistons were probably out of it, and it just set somewhere and got rusty. The bad ones are when there's a piston in the hole and water's on top of it, and it just sits out here on this outer side, and then it's just like cancer. And I don't see any signs of that. It cleaned up really good. The decks look relatively good. In the lifter valley and all, it's really nice. The lifter bores are not tore up at all. So the block did really good. And surprisingly, so I feel confident that the block's going to go 30. 40 at the most, but I feel confident it's going to go 30. So we're going to do the standard deal. We're going to line hone it. We're going to deck it. We're going to bore it, just like we always do. Now the heads, again, they got lucky. apparently the rust was from the heads just sitting, and the valves were in them, so it protected the seats. The guides are wore out just cause they're wore out, and I can see that the heads have been milled like on an old broach, or, well, some people might not know what a broach is, but like a Van Norman or a Storm Vulcan head surfacer that's got carbide inserts, goes real slow, makes horrible finish, but for composite gaskets it works. I see that pattern in the head, so at some point, you might can see it right there, the radius of the cutter. But overall, the seats look pretty good. The guides are wore. I mean, I took a new valve, and I don't know if you can see that. I mean, they're not just horrific, but they're definitely, we're gonna have to put some guides in. So it looks like the seats will live again. So we'll just do a nice multi-angle valve job. It's got a big goofy step. It's like, here's the 45 here, and then it's got like a goofy step, like a throat cut, and then it's got a angle under that throat cut. So we'll find an insert that'll just blend all of that, and then we'll probably, we'll do a little hand work just to clean up the short turn and try to make it a little nicer than it is. I have not measured, again, it had valves in it. I hadn't measured valve sizes or any of that, but we can bump them up a little bit and open up the throat if we have to buy valves, right? If we're gonna buy a valve, we might upsize them. But the problem, so we talk about these little bitty chambers, and I hadn't CC'd them, and I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna assume they're probably like in the mid 50s. Because for a Ford, and somebody else may make one, but I know when we do these small cubic inch Fords, we use the Dart Pro 1 head a lot, and they have two chamber sizes. They have a 50, I don't remember, it's small, it's mid 50s, and then they have a 62 or something. And especially with a 289, but a 302 is the same problem. If you're running the flat top piston, man, you can't make no compression. There's just not enough cubic inches. There's not enough swept volume to fill that cylinder. So you have to run a really large dome, or you have to run a really small combustion chamber. One or the other. You don't have a lot of choices. So that's the beautiful thing about these heads, and I guess that's why they're just, I don't know how many were made. I'm not a Ford guru. Some of you Ford gurus can tell us all about it, but you just can't find them. They're not out there. Like I say, this is only the second set I've ever seen in my whole entire life. So I'm sure this is going to make a good little package. They've already got, it's sitting over in the corner, I think they got a Performer RPM intake to go on it. And I think they got a little flat tappet cam, and we know how that's probably going to work out, but we hope the best for them, that it's going to live through break-in and it won't be death. But I think we're just going to call this episode 1, and I'm going to get the heads fully inspected, and we'll probably just start with the block like we always do. And we'll bring you back when we get ready to line hone it. But that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. I still need to mag it. I hadn't magged it. I don't see any signs of cracks, but I'm going to go through and mag the block, mag the heads. We've already wet magged the crank, and it was good. So once we get through all that, then we'll get it in line hone. But it'll be an interesting little build, and like I say, We'll do the heads on the 30, so you'll see that with some multi-angle stuff, and probably, I don't know, we might put solid guides in it, or we might put liners, one or the other, I don't know. But anyway, so we'll call this episode 1, and be on the lookout. And we got another Ford that's going to probably be coming in this week too, that we'll get like a episode 1 started on it also. So this is probably going to be Ford month, I think. So appreciate you. We'll see you on episode 2.